あ、怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い。あ、怖い。怖い。ライフル銃なんだって？
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and
ライフルだ、
Is
君。
any good?
most of them are rusty and inoperable, like
ウ
the
ルトアク
rest.
ション式の
But
上
one
等だ。
catches your eye.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still.
He likes this find.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at.
いや、音楽怖いんだよな。ここはとりあえずキムいてほしいから、ここ調べたら運んでもらおうかな。あ、よしよしよしよしよし、ノザフェドだ。回復しとこうかな。
Two cables are plugged
2
into
本
the
の
breaker
ケーブル
box.
がブレー
The
カー
red
ボ
one
ックス。
leads to the ice
いや、
bear fridge,
引
and
かん
the
引か
black
ん。
one to the ice cream maker.
引かん引かん、やめとくやめとく、大事だから。いや、でもここの解決するんだったら、遺体運んだら、抜いちゃってもいいのかもしれんなーって思ったり、印象的にクレイジー。肉体装置プラス1。肉体装置じゃない？演劇は俺、強いしな。あ、そうい
The
えば。
note is written with a blue.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at
刑
best.
事としての勘はま
Someone
だ。
has scribbled.
S、
I
オフサイ
can't
トコピーは
believe
まだ
the
ここにある
offside
なんて信
copy
じられ
is
ない。
still here. The illiterate ginger kid
呼びかけのできない
stole
赤
stuff
毛
from
の
the
子供
studio.
が何度もスタ
So
ジ
I
オに
had
す
to
ぐに
hide
入
it
るんだから。
somewhere safe.
赤毛
You
の子
find
供
the
あいつか
filament
な？
memory with the offside copy in the frozen
ア
ice
イスク
cream
リームメー
maker.
カーの中にある。
Please take it
Oh.
home ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I
Ice
lived
cream
in a
maker.
civilized place with a freezer.
Someone who owns a radio computer?
Which is to say,
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing.
it's like the production schedule you've.
Really? You don't have a. Oh, I'm sure that child would love to
Oh.
get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with
Oh.
it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed. I don't know.
Didn't you see one right now? The
これも
bullet
インタラ
is
クトでき
safely
るんか。
sealed away in a plastic bag, bearing the beside is orderly handwriting. The bullet looks especially.
What? Well, if I was the bullet,
そんなことは
which
ない
I'm
が。
not, I would say
いい考
if we
えだ。
find who owns it,
凶
we
器
will
を
have
探せ。
likely found. In conclusion, the more we
The squashed bullet. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to
装甲弾を
handle
扱うような理由はない。
bullets.
市
The
民軍
citizens'
は
militia
鋳造弾
uses
だけを用
cast
いる。
bullets only.
鋳造弾というのは一般的に薬莢に覆われている銃口から装填する金属の小さな弾。
The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish
今の
metal.
ところとりあえ
It has
ず
blossomed. You can just about
見れる
make
ところ
out
は
the
全部見とくか。
few near the base of the
被
bullet.
爆品のような感
It's
じ。
quite destroyed.
What can you say about the bullet so far? A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot
軍
from
用
a
の
military
高
grade
層式
bridge.
ライフ
Highly
ル。
unusual. The people of Revachol haven't.
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets.
Something tells you that won't be anytime soon.
おいおい
This
お
will
い
have
お
to
い。
be one of those epic tasks
おいおいおいおい。
for a rifle.
革命機の
Revolutionary period.
4.46ミリ弾。世紀の変わり目につけ使い尽くされなかった養生品。
From the 4.46 caliber was widely
ベル
used
マ
with the
グレイ
Belmont
ブの
rifle,
ライフルで
a
広く用いられている。
Revacholian manufacture.
50年前の新
The
世紀革命
BM
において
dominated
インスリンで戦役
battlefields
の
of the
戦場で権威を欲しい
Insulindia
ものです。
Incidentally, you have
ちょうど
just
同
such
じ
a
ような
rifle
ライ
with
フル
you.
を持ってい
The
る。
dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below. No, but Zeliger
大手銃器メーカーのジールガーが戦後に養生品を引き取った古い軍用ライフルが今ではまだ大量に出回って
So
いる。
there are still a lot of these old antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers. You're looking for the same.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay. And? What's your best guess? An antique? That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez. I have to hand it to the monarchs. It's quite admirable that they took some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle.
Prohibiting Peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to. But back to the investigation.
どうなんだろうかな。
Mysterious. Okay.
いや、一旦、ちょっと、これは本当に、偉いのでは？アンロックもしようや。アンロック。よしよしよしよし、アンロックして、で、口頭人種論だったよね。タスク。人種のエニグマ、口頭人種論。俺はこれあんまりね、どうかなって思うけどね。まあ、とりあえず、一回ね。そして、うわぁ、ここもいける。これ。よし。なんかハンドルを回すぞ。子供の頃の夢が蘇る気分だ。開けたい。冷たい。あ。はい。ちょっと待ってね。ちゃんとやるからね。バールを、一回ちょっとさすがに、袋は、うわぁ。うわぁ。いや、これ、バールが、待て。ここでか。黒い方。
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows. This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand crank ice cream churner
十分に
and
強
an
力。いや、
electric
3。
freezer.
これバールが壊れるとかなったら大変なので。いや、ちょっと行くとこ多くね。あ、こっちに出てきた。なるほどね。ここに出てくるんだね。リアル。アイスクリームメーカーは、ちょっとまた来たいわ。また来るわ。パスワードとか入ってないかな。ここは通ることはできない。これ何？セントラルボイラー。
Looks like it. Looks like an old central. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire.
It's dark and grimy here.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate. See if someone's upstairs.
A lush layer of... You feel the spirit of Ramut Karzai, ancient hero. Yes, the lieutenant seems relieved.
教会に誰かいる。誰かいるから、キムにもついてきてもろて、これもコンセプトアート？
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker. The mesh spreading over the whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. History classes.
歴史の授業でやったんか？
Studying the roots of art. Radio frequencies.
無線周波
UKV
数。
123.6. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. You think so?The web is comprised of radio
ゲームマスター
stations,
周波
all
数。
lead back to one red heart. titled The Game Master Frequency. Someone very important.
そうだね。
Of a massive on-air game, a conductor for the hundreds of story threads. Whoever decides to call in, there's no way.
My God, it's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their
資金
project
が減
became.
るたびに大掛かりなプロジェクト。
I know doom when I see it.
破綻を体
The
現してい
company
る。
was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble.
残念だよな。これ絶対おもろいのにね。
Okay,
あ
what
あ
do you think is going on with that
びっくりし
computer,
た。
chalkboard, and fireplace?
コンピューターと黒板と暖炉。情報活動プロジェクト。そんなことある？
Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular
ロールプレイングゲーム、ただし
pen and paper
開発してそれを自動化しようとしていたので、ラジオコンピューター上で遊べる。
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can tender the game master frequency that
ゲー
listens
ム
in
マスター
on the
周波
smaller
数が
call-in
存在し、
stations.
物語を
I
調整
think
す
that
る
was
役割を
supposed to
与えられている。
coordinate the stories, functioning as a master
すっ
of
ごい
ceremonies
レ
of
トロ
sorts.
なオンラインセッション？
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Ghana.
Not in Revachol
レワ
West.
ショール西の廃墟で
But
作
I
ら
don't
れて
think
おらん。
anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. Indeed, those Welkins
ウェルキンが
are a dead
何よりの
giveaway.
証拠だよ。
Roll
いやー
played
だ、
people
そりゃ
love
だ
that
って好
stuff.
きで
The
し
world
ょ
looks like a modified
ウ
version
ィラル
of
を
the
下敷き
real
にして
world
いる。
game with hid death
世界の
thrown in.
熱的視の要素を加味している。
Super
超クー
Someone
ル
should
だ。
give them millions of real.
いや、わかるよ。あ、概念化やっぱ
This
俺
game's
と
too good
近しい
to
な。
be
俺やっぱ概念化なんだな。
No idea.
見
They
当も
start
つか
filling
な
out
い。
the schedule on the... Indeed, it's ambitious
常識
and
外れな。
untethered from reality, but
呪いの餌食になったんだ
the
よ。
doom of bad business practice. Okay, let's keep.
残念だよね。絶対面白いのにね。俺は多分好きなんだよ
Iron
な、そ
safety
れ。
curtain curves before your eyes. This is directly
セントラル
above
ヒー
the
ター。
central furnace in
あ
the cellar. Not an
Gong
odd
gong.
thing to do.
Gong gong
Still,
gong.
nothing.
どんどんどん。
Those curtains
いて
prove to be surprisingly
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there.
ああ。
bent metal, broken glass. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
違う。俺は自分の無力さを日用品相手にぶつけているだけの一回の無
Look,
力な個人に過
there's
ぎ
a
ない。
discarded milk carton on the floor. Why don't you destroy
面
it?
目ない。
You're right. That's definitely not the behavior.
なんかある。雪の中の靴。なんかあるよ。ラデルタ15年。絵はがき。絵はがきって何なんだろう。コレクターズアイテムかな。ここ怖い。ああ、怖かった。こんにちは、すいません。
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. I suppose it's all over now. Okay, I'm willing to listen. We are. But before we go on, did you encounter?
その存在を感じ取ること
Then
が
it
できた。
has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse.
あれは天国と地獄をつなぐ道だ。間違いない。
Central furnace, and it's some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the.
If you're really interested in
ヒーターの
cracking
と
this
ころに
mystery,
よ。
then we should go back to the
いつも
front
の
desk.
調子で何か思いつくはず
The
だ。
lieutenant's interested in solving this.
よーし。行くぞー。こっちか。ここ怖いからやだ。ここ怖い。ここめっちゃ怖い。ここすっげえ怖い。こんにち
As
は。
before, and this is directly above the central furnace in the cellar.
なんか新しいあれが出たと思うんですけど。 中に入る方法を見つけろ。あ、間違えた。中に入る方法ね。
Yes?
中に入る方法か。なんだかんだでもう11時か。もうちょっとなんか結論出たら俺すぐその場を立ち去っちゃうの良くないな。一通りのこと聞いてさ、経験値あるかもしんないしさ。
What have you found? Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits. Yes, the Simonees are very crafty.
The woman before you scans the store.
Okay, but please, only the curse. It's the curse.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Everyone knows that all the previous there's something wrong with this building.
遅かれ早かれ破産。
Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie.
遅かれ早かれ破産ってあの冷蔵庫のせいなんじゃない？
It's not good.
Wow. Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy.
Oh, there are new.
Desert pygmy shamans. The woman before you scanned.
中に入る方法ね。
As before, this is directly above those curtains prove to be.
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there.
下の階、セントラルヒーターの中で思いっきり叫ぶ。そう言ってたね。回復しとこうね。どれ。
Looks like someone tried to.
災害年か？
Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same
スリップストリームのロゴが入ってる。
logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit. That's a good question.
悲しいね。現実は非常だからな。でも本当に残念だな。俺これ、急なオートセーブびっくりするわ。悲しいなぁ。よし。
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace.
おーい。
Something breaks loose in you.
ハ
You've
ロー。
awakened the entity. You hear a low rumble.
After you,
おー。やった。ちょっとキム。いや、キムー。どうしようかな。本当に死体運びたい。死体運びたいんだけどさ、キム行ってほしくないよ。空いてる。こんにちは。ダイス。ダメ。ダイスだ。ファンです。ちょっといつもの納得か。こんにちは。
Hello.
カスタムダイス職人、ニーハさん。
Did you try knocking on my window?
ミリュウに聞いてたから聞こえてなかったか
So
も。
what kind of
Could this be the malicious entity? She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Yes, Amelia is like a calling
Ah.
station. You need a two-way radio to access one. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages.
いろんな言語で悪態のつき
But
方を
some
教え
of
て
the
くれるも
stations
のがほ
can
とん
be
どだ
quite
けど。
interesting. I was so absorbed. I must have missed you knocking.
窓
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? I'm a novelty dice
カスタムダイス
maker.
職人、
Tell me
遊んで
the
る
name
ロー
of
ルプレイン
your
グゲームの名
role-playing
前を教えて
system
くれる
and
わ。
I'll make the dice
あ
That's why you're here,
あ、
yes?
もうクロア TRPG の台数作ってもらえますか？
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
いや、
Answers? How strange. These days people only come. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the
いや、概念
growing
家さん
out
や
of
っぱ
all falsehoods are present.
好きだな。
She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to
ダイ
hide.
ス注文して、
Ask what you need.
注文してけど俺は今刑事。
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? The lieutenant looks at
Your window looks directly
直
onto the
接中
courtyard.
庭が見下ろせ
You're
ます
saying
ね。
you didn't see your...
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It should, well, there's always something going
何
on
か
in
し
the
ら起きて
Berlin's
るから。
backyard. During daytime, there are
あの
usually
子供
those
がいるで
kids.
しょ？
And
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
but I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. I might have, but in this case, all I would have...
It's light here, but
It's really hard to make anything out. It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it.
ありがとうね。
Anything else, officer? We're inside the
ここを
chimney
ちゃ
of
ん
an
と
old
聞い
central
とく
furnace.
か。
It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build
賃料
myself
も
a
払わなくて済む
makeshift
からお得
Clayson
ではある
was。right. There's an entity
Creative.
発想が豊かですね。
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is
エネ
doing
ルギーの
rather
影響を受
well.
けずに済んで
Have the
るの？
energy spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running.
ワーリング・イン・ラグズも
You could
呪われた
say so.
商用地区の
Both
一部。
houses were built at the same time and under the east of the Commerce Central project.
力に整ってる客もいる。
I've been here for
ロールプレイングゲームを愛して
years,
やまない人たちに
selling
カスタム
novelty
ダイスを売り
dice
続
to
けている。
role-playing
100万リア
enthusiasts.
ル単位の事業では
Not
決してないけれ
exactly
ど
a
弱ない
million
ルール
real
にまさかの負け
business
ず今日まで
idea,
生き残ってきた。
that
不思議ね。
somehow
Maybe it's just because she's so
そうかもし
talented
れない
that
ね。
she's been able to woo the curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you
呪いは
Time
実
has
在す
come
る
to
と
face
思
the
う？
source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe
内
are
陸
supporting
帝
you
国さ
in
んの
this
ことあんま
psychic
信
quest.
じられないかもしれない。俺は呪いなんてないと思うよ。
Truth is always so, but I'm glad we got this sorted out.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone's...
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
ジムは
It
どうな
wasn't
った
really
の？
a gym, it
ア
was
ル
Artemitep's
アルテ
boxing
ミテッ
club.
プ。
A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger.
アルテミテ
And
ップ
that's。why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
五感が大体ニャルラトテップじゃん。
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in
真
Martinez
剣悪が
even
詰まって
worse.
るなん
It's
て。
not really full of that. No one would
そうだ
store
ね。
things like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and
割れてる窓はどうした
this one's a
の？
mess. Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an...
スナフ
What's the
ミリュ。
snuff milieu?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hall. It's a sub-Rosa radio station
Wow.
that real murders with real victims. Some people
スナ
get
フっ
good
て
when
つい
it's
て
cut
る
off on it.
からなんかそれ系かとは思ったけどマジか。
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that. As
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with...
Good luck
Hi.
with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
マネキン見かけた。ファッションアトリ
But
エ。
I have
昆
forgotten the
虫の
head
権利を
designer's
訴え
name.
る活動
They were
家。
doing well for a couple of years until the... The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. And you know how all kinds of political movements and, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in Kyton from then on. Really? Anyway.
Poor guy. Suddenly, you get a feeling that insects are important to the
雲の剥製はレバショーアイスシティね。一つ聞かせてあげちゃおうかしら。
The place was owned by two guys
革新的なものの見方をしていた男性2人が経営していたものでね。あ、聞きたい、聞きたい、聞きたい、聞きたい。一番可愛い女の子たちを引っ張ってって時給20セントで売り場に立ってもらうって聞いたよ。フリっても全く同じような状況だな。
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work and not alone. They were all, and they already had the bear. The
あの
bear.
クマは、
Of course not. The bear
もの
was
すごく怖かったもん
terrifying.
な。
No one's ice cream
そっか。
guarded by a hostile
あ、
apex
そっ
predator.
か。そっ
Eventually,
か。
Ravishell Ice City lost the price war
グ
to
ラッ
its
セ
rival.
5000に価格競争で負けたわ。キャラメルサンド1つ買ったの5セントで売ってたの。僕普通の冷蔵庫を使ってね。
Out of regular fridges.
クマも自分の最善を尽くしたと
Because
思
the
う。
taxidermist who made that bear, he said that the bear was his vision beast.
乾
He said
燥
he
剤で
met
ハイ
his
になってる
vision
時
beast while high
メ
in
ガ
the
テリオンとか呼んでたってね。
Sounds cool.
Megatherium.
メガテリオ
It's
ン。
an imaginary beast by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
ハーブはやらないよ。
You shouldn't do them. Anyway, now you know the
アイス
story
クリー
of
ム
the
帝国が
fallen
滅ん
ice
でしまっ
cream.
た理
Anything
由。
else? Another failed business, perhaps? Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wire.
The doorbell with
共
the
に機
empty
能
name
している
card
ドア
must
ベル。
belong to
ああ、
her
何も
then.
書かれてない名札がここのか。
That's right. I haven't
名
even
前すらまだ
written
書
my
いて
name
なかっ
there.
た。
As I said, it's quite useless, right? Sure, I'm listening. Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked them.
そりゃあ好きでしょう
They
ね。
were an interesting bunch.
ロールプレイングゲームの話をしたのよ。いつなんかウィラルのことで彼らのうちの2人がなんか意外の喧嘩をしたことも
That's
あった。
understandable.
ファンタジー遊びじゃないぞ。
Serious
そうだぞ。
things.
They certainly took their work very seriously.
自由すぎた。
They ran out of money. Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe
大いな
they
る
were
試練を与えられる
historical
歴史的人物
individuals
の
on
集
some
団と思い込
grand
んでいたみ
quest.
たい。なんか内側にいる人は
She
そう
sounds
思っ
almost mocking when
ち
she
ゃう
says
よ
that.
ね。
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they
資本
just
主義
began
に
to
対する
complain a lot about. In the end, they just didn't get it
最
done.
後までできな
They
かっ
didn't
た
have
と
enough
いう事
willpower
実
to
だけ。
produce something truly historic
うん。
and to show up to work on time.
もっと努力すべきだった。
Not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the
う
game.
ん。
The result is one on a 20-sided
いやでも
die.
別に1出目小さい方がいいこともあるやん。でも20面ダイスをわざわざ転がすときって大体でかい数字出したいときだよな。いやでも産地現象だったらめっちゃ強い
The
じゃん。
dice is black and filled with little
Anything else?
イン
I'm
タ
pretty
ー
sure
ホ
it
ン
still
は
doesn't. That's
聞
right.
いた
I
ね。
haven't even. Sure, I'm listening. You mean Mr. Fabron?
剥製職人のファブロン。ハーブをやってばっかり。
Anything else?
美
Yes,
容
I
院
think
は
it
ア
was
ンドロ
called
ギノス・オ
Androgynous
ーランド。
Orlando or something
ああ、そ
similar. They
う、なん
weren't
か
a、big
あ
hit
そう。
around here. Turns out that working class men
そ
You
う。
wouldn't like it either.
いや別にいいやん。俺はアンドロギノスって言葉自体は好きだよ。かっこいいか
A
ら。
bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
I guess it just wasn't the time
時
yet.
代の先を行き過ぎてたのかもね。
They were made by a
ス
company
リップ
called
ストリームってい
Slipstream.
う会社。
After they pivoted from making
最
rotor
高責
blades
任
to
者が
skis,
休暇を取っ
their
たの
chief。
会社のお
executive
金を
took
全部
off
持って
on
ね。
a vac- Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday
休
transmissions
暇を
from
打診してるん
Tulula
じゃない。
or Tumutiri, the usual, I imagine. that he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. I have no idea why those keys.
They were just the props. Why return them?
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? How did I become one?
経営判断。宝石職
I
人。
was a regular jeweler at first, but that's a non-focused field. Some of my friends were role players.
コバルトを
They
使って
asked
多
me
面体な
to
ダイ
make
スを作っ
some
てほしいと
polyhedral
頼まれ
dice
た。
out of cobalt.
ロールプレイングゲー
That
ム好
was
き
not especially.
あ、そうなんや。
I like working with rare materials and a steady pay.
Some of those nice people have big
おも
bucks
ちゃ
to
に巨額の
spend
金
on
費やしてなんぼでしょう
She's
が。
thankful for the security they provide her.
ダイス注文する場合
Tell me
は
what you have in mind. What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise
驚か
you?
せるダイスを作
Come
る。
back in 8
あの
hours
リアル
with
持っ
7
て。
real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
ちょっと待って。
Maybe
めっ
you
ちゃいい
have
ダイ
some
ス
other。ideas for dice?
めっちゃいいダイス作ってもらうから、ちょっと待って。
Take a look around, see if anything
ホワイトスキルチェックだ
inspires
か
you.
ら、ちょっと待って、オカンってどういうスキルだっけ？これか。真の超自然的存在。ホワイトスキルチェック、やっとくか。3% あるんだもんね。
You feel nothing.
まあ
If
まあまあ
anything,
まあ
it's
まあまあまあ。
uncomfortably warm in here. She has begun to idly clean.
ありがとね。
Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes.
お
You
前は
hustle.
頑張ってる。
You're a provider. It's tough out there. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is
波
harsh.
乗れてるか
you
な？
do. You make money. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter. Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shaken for
ゆすり
shit
たかりで
and
手に入れ
then
たクソを
bought
死
off.
に入れる。
You didn't log that in as a donation either. Sure. And has
人
it
生は
been
楽か？
easy?
人停止になったことはない
Is
か？
life easy?
不安の補佐をされたり、
Have
口に
you
意地を突っ込んで
not
光に
gone
吹こう
into
と思ったことはないか？
cardiac
あるだろ
Are
う。
you
なのにお前
not
もまだ
about
年中
to
無
have
休
an
で頑張っている。
anxiety attack
波に乗るか
or
死ぬか
shoot
自分の
yourself
心に
up?
聞い
Are
てみ
you
るといい。
rich?
そんなことは
That's
ない。
right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're
なん
still
で俺はこんな
because
に
of
貧
the
乏なんだ？
taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky finger. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gossamer state? That is Revachol. Every time you wipe your ass, they got their direct and their 98% of all your money.
思考は、とりあえ
Here
ず
you
持っ
go,
とけばいいん
hustler.
じゃない？
Fight the righteous fight.
税金問題に怒りを爆発させろ。よしよしよしよし。まあまあまあまあまあまあ。とりあえず、暗いわ。キムと話をしたいけど、その前にちょっと一回、
Yes?
キムなんか話なかった？なかったが。まあ、何ならいいや。よし。で、ここ一通り調べたから、一通り調べたから、いやでもあれ。どれだっけ？この人、21時以降に28号室。に行きたい。そこには、キムもいてほしいから、どうしようかな。 21時になったら、行くだけ行って、で、別れる、寝る前にキムに、死体もうええよって運んでもらうとか。これどうやって、こっちかな、こっちか。ここだ。っていうのはどう？キムいてほしいよなぁ。おい、プレゼンス。
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of... I don't understand. If it's not her...
The narrative she's built herself. Just don't say you don't have
何の答えも得ていないとだけは言うな。
the answer. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
嘘をつかねばならない。これでよくない？
How horrid! Tell me, did you find a way to break the curse?
非回帰か。
Of course. I trust my Seminoles wards and all that matters is that the energies are retreating. Thank you, officer.
おお、
Surely
70 もくれた。
psychoemanation to this
や
humble
っ
book.
た。
She so badly wants this to be over. It will only last a day or two. A week
元の
tops.
木阿弥だろ。
Alright then. All's well that ends well.
ビラル買いたい。ビラル買って、ニーハさんにカスタムダイス作ってもらいたい。さて、今ちょっとどうしようかな。とっても悩んでいる。ブールをあげる。で、アリスに連絡。ブールあげる、アリスに連絡。
Working class.
事件解決。
cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean? What did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. No.
ふざけるのも大概しろ。
Stop.
死んだものね。
Yes. And you found, didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing? There's no need for champagne.
労働者階級の女に相談しに行け。こんにちは。
God damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't very well then. Where is he? Excuse me? Right, cause work.
Remember, about that what? Never ever say.
なんだとは言うな。
You were right. I do have an out.
Ah, Lamb. Knew it.
No, he's not. Or maybe he is. I
お
haven't
おい
seen
おい
him
おい
for...
おい、FFA 事
I
件の匂い
wouldn't
が
be
する
so
ぞ。
sure. Man, just to be
Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than to chase down local...
She sighs, but you can detect.
All right, go ahead. Honestly, not that different from you.
アルチューって
That's
こ
one
と？
way to put it, yes. What else? He was wearing a dark brown
色
leather
の
jacket
裏地
with
が
a
ついた
bright
焦げ茶色
blue
の革ジャ
inner
ケット。
lining. It's his cool jacket.
クールなジャケット。
God knows. I even tried throwing it away once, but he just dug it out of the bin. Well, what can you do? Yesterday
昨
morning,
日の朝。
he went to the library because we talked about this.
Gone for around 36. She turns away from you.
ありがとう
So
ね。
you are going to look for him.
任せろ、
Thank you.
任せろ。
Please do.
She tries to maintain.
I'm sure he will too. When he
I will, of course, officer. As I said, it's probably
はいはいはいはい。これでいけるね。これあんまり俺は、習字学ね。とりあえずこれで、あそこにも行けるようになった。その前に、こんにちは。
You're still waiting for a replacement for the bull you sent
Oh.
sinking. It's a
こんにちは。
Bell McGrave. 4.46
そういえば、
caliber.
ルネさん、老兵やった。
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. I'm not surprised.
十分にあり得る
There
こ
are
とだ。
probably lots of forgotten water. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. This BM446
とりあえずこれでどうです？
Are you mocking us?
あ、そうですか。
No need to get angry again, René. I'm
本当に面目ない。
This isn't even a bull. But fine.
ああ、ありがと
You
ね。
did attempt to right your hooliganism.
ありがと
Consider
ね。
it forgiven. Ah, yes. King Philip,
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of
a superpower. Feared and respected. A testament to what this country can
シ
be.
ノンはどのように統治すればいい？
Without
断
fear
固た
of
る態度で、
offending the sensibilities
使用で
of
意
the
志伯
frail
爵な市民を
and
傷つけることを
weak-minded
厭わぬ決意で。
This is something the insurgents never understood.
Revachol
would be a different place if more people
わ
realized.
しらは今でもその話はもういいだろう。過ぎたことは過ぎたことだ。このやりとりを何度もしてき
The
たのだろう。
Carabiner doesn't reply. No one and nothing can change
こ
this
の上なく
man's
頑固だ。
Oh, Old Philip was a big fan
パー
of
プル
the
キャンディー
purple
の
rose
大ファンだっ
candy.
た。
The
ハーブ
nobility
2だよ。
loved.
You can't even take responsibility for yourself. That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine.
Of course. Clarity.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of
higher realms.
高次元。
He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he?
It's really not.
そんなことは全く
Please,
ない。
do yes, indeed. We're not here to investigate it.
right.
ホワイトスキルチェックならやるだけ。
All you see is
Anything else I can assist you with?
ありがとね。
it's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruta. Lower intestine.
代謝および
The
循環
term
系
is
だ。
metabolic
きつい
and
あれってなんだ？
fascism,
ファシ
Bruta.
ズムってなんだ？
Many things, but it's mostly about
自
trusting
分の
your
直
gut.
感を信じるこ
Who
とだ。
does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol? Quit stalling,
話
Bruta.
の腰を折るな、ブ
We're
ラ
talking
ダ
about the weakest, worst, most
ー。
insane
あ
thing. The weak link.
最も弱く、最も悪く、最も狂ったことについて話してたんだ。盤石な者たち。
Yes. Women.
女たち。お前も嫌いだろう。あー、なんか嫌いそ
They're
う。
insane. Their idiocy needs to
耐
be
久
stopped
力、
because
そういうやつね。
that's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. Stomach truth.
審
You
判。
haven't
なんでこんなことにな
because
ってるん
you've
です
said the hard things that others won't say. The good things. Okay.
そう呼ぼう。いい考え
That
だ。
sounds much better.
伝統主義。お前も気に入っただろう。
You like the sound of. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views.
まあ、
for the
思考は
nation.
一通り持ってていいんじゃない？
Best not to mention the women. Of course you are, Bruta. Of course.
よし。あと、アリスに連絡。
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
無線を手に取る。
How may I assist you?
連絡あった
The armor was produced
フェアウェザー
by
社スルラックレ・ベタンクールにある施設で42年。コーデュ・ファルマシー。これ特注品。
So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the film has proven this.
なんて呼ばれている
Registered film
クレネル、ダウエル。
the CDP is an
A suit of armor like this
特定の
would
人
have
物
been
の体に合わせて
manufactured
製
with
造
a
されている
particular
なんだ。
person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom.
yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private.
ああ、アリスあり
This
がと
is a
ね。
fun challenge for
やり
her,
がいのあることの
an
ようだ。
opportunity to contribute beyond doing
ありがとう。
Call back tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll have more for you then.
そんで、あと、次に、アーマーの所有者に関する情報はとりあえずまた日を待つとして、どれだっけ。
57.
In the cabin, you see as
ちょっとまあ、あとにしよう。思い出したらでいいわ。ちょっとやること多すぎるから。で、
Now it's turning
Yeah.
into a kind of a man.
ハー
Me
ブ
and
とは古い
narcotics
付き合い
go
だ。
way back. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Hey man, that's serious criminal.
entrapment is a practice whereby
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout.
Not me, man. No way.
俺じゃないからな。
I
夜
don't
会
need
事は
any
ごめん
trouble.
だ。
Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's
誰だ
cooked,
と
man.
思う？
I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revish.
We wouldn't say he's
あり
lying
がとね。
inside.
ちょっとこの辺りで一回、いい感じだし、セーブしとこうかな。ここ。まあ、この後あの人と、とりあえず話をして、12時40分か。どうしよっかな。どうしよっかな。遺体を送りたいけどね、本当に。送りたいな。ちょっとフリッテで。売るだけ売っとこうか。
The tear machines.
入
Your
れま
bottles
す。
clump.
よしよしよしよし。まあまあ、なんだ？
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with their logo is the blood.
Just ask me if you need anything from Saint Baptiste. We don't. I don't know.
知らないけど、そうだ
Let's
な。
see. Nosafed is a nasal
すごくいい
spray.
鎮痛剤。
Dramamine is a. I don't really know what
のガン
hypnogamma is.
マ。
I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommend. No.
Nosafed
ノ
heals
ザフェ
+1
ド。
health.
そういうことね。そういうことか。
Saint Baptiste. Saint Baptiste
サンバティスト
Pharmaceuticals.
製薬。
The one that sells meds.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from.
いや、ありがとね。
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of.
エラー発生
The
し
raincoats
て
are
よ。ちょっと一
transparent,
旦送信しとこ
except
うね
for。the big Fritta slogan on the back.
レインコート欲しいけどね。
Is this about the questions again?
お、
Because a warehouse.
フリッテが何をしようとあんまり興味ないかな。
Maybe.
重要な
She
ことなんで
scrunches
す。
up her face. In
Fine. For it
フリッ
doesn't
テ
have
に
a
は倉庫なんてない。
warehouse. Just a little
小さな
back room
裏部屋。
here. Okay.
秘密の通路にも入りたいけど、なんだこう。もしかして入れる？いや、入れはせん。は。
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, the windows are clear. They've been recently washed. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial. The back end of the cabin has a small a book with ragged edges catches your
エルム
notice.
ダルから来たとことピグミの幻の
Racist
星。
nationalist
人種差
paraphernalia.
別
Not unusual in
国
this part of town.
国
This is our guy.
国粋主義
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who
ああ、
he is.
なるほどね。そういうステッカーなんだね。そういうステッカー貼りがちなやつね。理解理解。ちょっとここでセーブをしよう。